Welcome to another episode of Greyhounds Football with head coach Che Hendrix. I'm your host, Brant Freeman, joined via Zoom once again by Coach Hendrix. The Hounds are out to a 2-0 start to district play, coming off a 30-6 win on the road over the Uvalde Coyotes. And Coach, impressive win for you from this past Friday. What were the biggest takeaways you had from Friday's win?
First of all, thanks. Appreciate it. It was another good win for us. We felt good about both of our fronts, our offensive line, our defensive line. Felt like we controlled the pace and tempo of the game. I think that's what I left thinking was the best thing we did, and probably makes me feel the best overall. A lot of good effort by a lot of players, but when you play good up front, you feel like you kind of control the game. It makes you feel really good as a coach.
You look at the play of the offense, and your offensive line helped pave the way for a balanced attack. You had more than 230 yards passing, over 170 yards rushing. Ideally, is this the type of offense you'd like to see moving forward?
It is. We want to stay balanced. That's a big deal to us. And we also want to be able to take what the defense gives us. I think that's a sign of a good offense. If people want to load the box, you got to be able to throw it. And if people want to play coverage, you got to be able to run it. So I'm happy with the progression that we've made and the ability to do both.
Another game, another long touchdown for Riley Pekacek. It feels like he's good for one of those at least every game. But he wasn't the only receiver for you, certainly, as your quarterback, Rashawn Galloway, hit 8 different receivers in the game against Uvalde. How impressed were you with Rashawn's ability to spread the football around?
He plays point guard, so we reference that a lot in football. Is trying to be a point guard. We want the ball distributed, and we got a lot of playmakers that we feel like on either side of the formation. So we do want to try to spread the ball out. That's a true spread when you can beat somebody with several different people and not just one. So that's the goal, is to not let them focus on one player, take one player out of the game. You got several guys that can hurt you. So Rashawn did a good job with that. Like I said, 8 different receivers, spreading the ball out, throwing the ball around, and getting it out of his hand. I felt like he missed a few throws early. He was a little high and a little wild at times, but he really settled back down and threw the ball really well.
There are a lot of things your defense checked off on the to-do list from this past Friday. You didn't allow Uvalde to score until early in the fourth quarter. You held the Coyotes to negative rushing yardage, very hard to do this past Friday. You also forced a couple of turnovers. Just how impressive was the play of the defense for 48 minutes this past week?
Yeah, the defense played well. That's a couple of weeks in a row we've started the game off with a goal line stand, which is extremely hard to do. To stop somebody on basically first and goal 2 weeks in a row. They had the ball down on the 1-yard line and stopped them. So we're playing at a pretty high level. We really challenged our defensive line this week. They've got 2 good quarterbacks. Of course, number 2, the scrambler, moves around a lot. So that was a huge problem or potential problem for us. And we worked all week about that, staying disciplined, staying in your lanes. And I thought our defensive line, especially our ends, did a great job of making them step up. And of course, Ethan Hamby had multiple sacks, forced a fumble, recovered 2 fumbles, had 8 tackles, 4 solos. He was our defensive MVP, but a lot of that was because our defensive ends flushed him out and made him step up. So, secondary covered. That's sometimes hard on secondary when a guy's scrambling around for a while to cover a guy for 4 and 5 seconds. And so they did a great job of what we call pasting on or latching on to a receiver when the quarterback scrambled. And just overall, just a really good team effort. Had a lot of guys really playing at a high level and doing what they're supposed to do and taking care of their responsibility.
Out to a 2-0 start again in district play, playing some really good football right now, but I know that you would counter that saying you haven't played your best football yet. However, do you feel as if this team is starting to hit its stride in a very important part of the season?
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping. We talked about that this morning at practice. We jumped out quick and won 3 games, and then we got a little complacent. And, that can happen, and you end up getting beat. So, we're just trying to stay very humble and hungry and get after it in practice and make sure we're earning the right to win. But as a team right now, I think we are playing well. I hope we keep trending upward and getting better. But, if we protect the football and we can run the football, and stop the run and keep playing defense the way we have, we got a chance. We feel like we win every game.
Again, the Greyhounds, a 30-6 win over Uvalde from this past Friday. A number of key plays. Coach Hendrix takes us through a few of them in the win over the Coyotes.
All right, so we're going to pick it up here. This is the first drive for Uvalde. This is the 4th and 1. Obviously, anytime you get a goal line stand is a big deal, but especially to get one on the first possession really sets the tone for the rest of the game. You know, you look at the energy that brings. Show it from the tight here, but that's what I really like. You can see Colton Patrick here darts in, gets a hold of the quarterback, and then of course it's hard to move Beef and Hamby. So really set the tone for the game for us. Getting out to a good start defensively. We pick it up here. I think this is midway through the second quarter. It's a great throw. You can see we got a little slant route up top. We got single coverage on the top end. Looks like they're bringing a blitz. Rashawn has to pull it down for a second because the guy backed off. I don't know if you can see this outside backer. He's showing blitz posture, so we think we're going to hit the slant early. And right there, you know, he backs out and he actually gets in this slant window. That's what causes him to pull the ball down for a second and kind of pump it right there and then let him clear. So that's a tremendous job at quarterback. That's playing at a high level. And then, of course, Justin Moore outside with a great route and makes a catch right there for a touchdown. So I think that was our first score. That was a great throw and catch. We'll check the offensive line here. They did blitz. You can see the center picked up the blitz right there. They switched off. So, again, great job getting us that protection. We need that extra second of protection for that pump. So, good play by the offense. Here's just kind of one example of one of the sacks we had. It's 3rd and long. We were talk about this for Somerset and who we played. You know, when we can cut it loose when it's 3rd and long, we get people in a passing situation. Our D line's been really good, and so this is something we worked on all week just to make sure we kept the quarterback in the pocket. John Borden down here setting an edge is what we call it. You know, all week we preached get up the field, which is a little counterintuitive to how we coach sometimes. You know, our defensive ends like to squeeze. We wrong arm pullers on counter, different things like that. But here we wanted our defensive end to get up the field and make their quarterback step up, or at least make him try to outrun us to the sideline. So John does that. He gets outside and he tries to keep the quarterback on his inside shoulder. That's what we coached him all week to do. You can see the rest of the guys coming inside out. So that, you know, again, he just makes a great athletic play. Showed here in the end zone. But him and Colton Patrick and Ethan Hamby are all three, you know, getting after it, putting pressure on them. So that was really what I think, you know, helped us win the game was those 4 guys up front really putting pressure on the quarterback, and they did a tremendous job executing the game plan. We talked a lot about Riley Pekacic. We seem to call his number every game. He's done a great job. Got a little motion here, trying to get a matchup we want. You can see they're a little confused, not sure who's going to cover them. And then we run a wheel route off of it. And Rashawn does a great job buying a little time here, and then hits a wide open Pekacic, and he of course does the rest. Good job of, you know, I think that's Justin again downfield, not blocking downfield. Sometimes that's a temptation for somebody to come back and peel back and hit somebody, and we actually coach that a lot to not do that. But again, look at Sean, you know, working, stepping up, and then everybody's on their man, and he does a great job buying time. And then, you know, not many guys can do this off the back foot, throw a ball in the air 50 yards. So again, great play for us, and proud of him not blocking him right there, getting a touchdown. So those are our plays of the game. You know, of course, there were a bunch of plays we could have chose, but goal line stand, showing how we, you know, made a sack, and then a couple of big plays offensively. That kind of summed up the effort for the team. Great team win.
That again, a look at Coach Hendrix's key plays from Bernie's win over Uvalde. Up next for the Hounds, the Somerset Bulldogs. A game we'll preview coming up after this on Greyhounds Football with head coach Che Hendrix.
If you want to train like the athlete, and I mean truly train like a professional athlete, you come to D1.
Athletes are the staple of what we want to be. You want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to have a smile on your face, you want to be energetic when you walk into places, and just have a presence about you. And so I think D1 creates that atmosphere, and they understand the opportunity they have in taking these individuals and making them better.
D1 Bernie, the place for the athlete.
This place is going to change the way I play the game.
Hi, I'll take the
I'm
Charger
gonna get the
burger.
Greyhound burger, please.
Greyhound burger. Charger burger.
Charger burger.
mushrooms, Swiss, caramelized onions.
Greyhound burger, bacon, and American cheese.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Greyhound burger.
Charger burger.
Hey guys, you can like both of them at the same time.
We'll take two.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here in Boerne, Texas, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when this all passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and go Greyhounds.
Welcome back to Greyhounds Football with head coach Che Hendrix here on the Greyhounds Sports Network. We just recapped the win over Uvalde from this past Friday. Now we'll look ahead to the game coming up Thursday. Boerne back home hosting Somerset. Like the Coyotes, the Bulldogs were a 5A program over the past several years, have dropped down to 4A, new to the district this year for Boerne. It's been a tough start this season for Somerset, 1-5. They dropped their district opener last week against a very good Lavernia team. What have you learned about the Somerset football team you play on Thursday?
You know, I think they're getting better each week. They started late because of COVID, because of other reasons. They've had, obviously, their head coach passed away. They've had a lot of things happen early on in the season for their program. So they've been through a lot. And what we're noticing is kids are playing extremely hard. They're getting better at what they're doing. And they present some problems, especially defensively. They got 4 real big defensive tackles, defensive linemen. They get after it. They play man across the back end. They got 4 good cover guys. So, you know, they're doing a good job defensively. And, you know, offensively, they're just trying to find their identity. You know, they've changed a little bit. They wanted to run early, and they kind of opened it up against the Boerne team a little bit better. So, you know, we're expecting a great challenge. We know they're going to play hard, and, you know, they're hungry for a district win.
You mentioned the offense, that yes, it has struggled this season. The quarterback of the offense is Cole Detmer, the grandson of the late Sonny Detmer. What did Coach Sonny Detmer mean to Texas high school football?
You know, I mean, guys like that are just legendary, you know, and they're the thing that I think probably as coaches that we understand more than anybody is the mentorship and the leadership. And just the professionalism, you know, when you're around him, and I got to spend a couple of years with him. We scrimmaged him, and we did some 7-on-7 with him. And every time I was around him, I felt like he made me a better person. I loved talking to him. I really enjoyed what he had to say about football, but more importantly about life. You know, we talked about, I coached my son. Obviously, he coached his and his grandsons and everybody else. So I spent a long time talking with him about that, the challenges of that, the fun of that, all that goes with it. So, you know, he's just a tremendous person. You know, it's so great for our profession, and of course he's dearly missed. But you know, he just left a cool legacy. You know, and as a young coach, and he's got a lot of good coaches on his staff, and the people from outside the staff. You know, that's something that I think everybody wants to try to emulate.
When we were recapping the win over Uvalde for you, we talked about just how balanced you were offensively, both being able to run the football and pass effectively. Big plays again for players like Riley Pakacek. Looking for the same this week against Somerset on Thursday. But what challenges do the Bulldogs present to you when they line up on defense?
Yeah, their front 4 are tough, and they get after it. I think we're going to have a hard time running the ball inside early. You know, hopefully we can wear them down and hit some big plays in the passing game. You know, that's where we hope to hit our big plays. They play man, a lot of man free, and so, you know, when you play man, obviously you have the chance to give up big plays if we can make them. You know, obviously it makes it hard offensively getting off that stuff, but if you can and you get a step, you can hit some huge plays in the pass game. So hopefully we can wear them down, run them sideline to sideline, and then start pounding them into the middle a little more and keep our balance.
Again, this is a short week for you as you host Somerset on Thursday, but you have had a short week before this season. You play Fredericksburg on a Thursday night at home at Boerne ISD Stadium. Is there an advantage for you having already dealt with the short week in terms of the preparation, getting ready for this week?
I don't really think so at this time of the year. You know, you kind of do what you do. You try to add a few wrinkles for each opponent. We try to limit that on a short week because you just don't get quite as many reps. So I think it just causes you as a staff to really hone in when you're watching film and coming up with a game plan. Say, okay, what are our best X amount of plays we have on both sides of the ball, and really try to work those in. I don't necessarily think it's advantage or disadvantage at this time. You know, I think early in the year it probably could be a bigger advantage, especially playing at home. But, you know, at this time of the year, you know, I think we are who we are and they are who they are, and we're just trying to get better, and I don't see it helping either team.
Earlier in the show, we went through your key plays in the win over Uvalde. Looking ahead to the game Thursday against Somerset, what do you see being the biggest keys to this game against the Bulldogs?
Well, I think what we did against Uvalde, we gotta protect the football. You know, 0 turnovers is a big deal. You know, just limiting the offensive possession. You know, when you're able to run the ball, control the clock and the tempo, you can limit the other team's, you know, plays, and that was a big deal. I think defensively, we were on the field less than 60 snaps, 53 or something like that, which if you're only defending 53 plays a game, you know, that's way better than defending, you know, 78, or I think we defended 98 against Fredericksburg. So just the pace of play, how it goes is a big deal. Turnovers are a big deal. And then, you know, can we stop the run and make them one-dimensional? You know, that's what we're really trying to do defensively. They're big up front. They got a couple of big running backs. They want to run the football. So if we can stop that, put them third and long, make them one-dimensional, I think that's a big advantage for us. We can get that pass rush turned loose and hopefully put some pressure on the quarterback.
All right, Coach, best of luck on Thursday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Again, the Bernie Greyhounds hosting the Somerset Bulldogs in district action. We'll have that game for you right here on the Greyhounds Sports Network. But that's going to wrap up our show for this week. For head coach Che Hendrix, I'm your host, Brain Freeman. Thanks for watching Greyhounds Football with head coach Che Hendrix. We'll see you next time.